it does. Watch me go! Anyone else? Break free!
Nonsense, dear. Just send down one of our most capable assistants.
What about the cult? You crazy old wizard! Thank Ariel, a competent soul. Good to see you again. You'd think I'd be used to working with him, but... Once again, I'm out in the field with the great and powerful Telenger, and once again, he's trying very hard to drive me mad. Would you be willing to lend that crazy old wizard a hand? We came here to study the old Falinesti site. Unfortunately, a mad cult now controls the tunnels, the halls of Ichor. They've used a set of corruption stones to seal the main entrance. Destroy those stones, and you'll gain access to the tunnels. You're a gift from the stars. Once you're in the tunnels, Telenger should be easy to find. Do whatever it takes to get that old fool out of there. The people that normally live here, the people in the camp nearby, call themselves the Falinesti faithful. They patiently await the return of the great city, hoping it will change their lives. The Arbordawn have lost their patience. The faithful could probably tell you more, but as I understand it, a charismatic member has decided they can force the city to return. They're zealots now. They won't let anyone into the pit. Telenger, of course. He took it as a challenge. Look, he's a fantastically powerful wizard. These cultists aren't really a danger to him, the way they are to you and I, but he just refuses to come out of there, no matter how much I beg. Oh, you know, working as hard as I can to keep him alive, making sure the new students don't hear about past expeditions, the usual. One or two smaller outings, nothing like this. I've been trying to keep him close to home in Skywatch. Once I even managed to get him to a lecture on time. That was a good day. This is a resting site for the great walking city of the Falinesti. Every autumn, the massive tree beast would creak and groan its way across the landscape. Set out roots in the halls of Ichor, down there in the tunnels. The greatest green speakers the world has ever seen. They were not satisfied with merely growing the odd village here or there. They wished to craft a perfect fusion of city and forest, one they could show the world. Let's see. The other 3 sites are spread throughout Valenwood. Spring saw the city in the depths of Greenshade. Summer, it set down roots in Malabal Tor, and from here, it would seek to winter in the Grotwood. No one knows. The city pulled up roots and began the trek to its next site and simply never arrived. This happened some 150 to 200 years ago. No one's seen it since. That's why we're here.
Could just find Falinesti.
What are you looking at? Haven't you ever seen a node wait for a magic tree to return from wherever?
Where has the city gone?
Falinesti, cleanse us.
Brace us. We worship you.
We must return.
Ah, I felt something happening up here. Well done. Can't wait to see you inside.
You going to enchant something with that? Can I
Green,
watch?
keep me safe from madmen and monsters. Pilgrim, be careful down here. My brethren are not themselves. Perhaps you should return to our camp. It's much safer there. Thank the Green. Always nice to speak to someone with their eyes open. Sorry to impose, but since you're not here to worship, would you be willing to work? I'm down here gathering root, earth, and water samples from the caves. We maintain them very carefully. Normally, anyway. Since the Arbordawn Cult began their mad rituals, it's been dangerous to come down here. Thank you for your service. By the time you're done gathering those samples, I'll be back up in the camp. Look for me there. Mad folk, every one of them. They think, I don't know what they think. They're sure they can force Falinesti back here somehow. Indring, the leader of the cult, he's maddest of all. We've been friends for years. He's half crazed, babbling about the tunnels. I just hope they can be saved. We do so with songs in our hearts. One day Falinesti will return and we'll be rewarded for our stewardship. It's a quiet life normally, but we like it. Through communion with the spirit of the site, we tree stewards have a few tricks up our sleeves. Get those samples for me and I'll show you. Oh, you know how it is. A revered site, with a group of mystics and fanatics caring for a bunch of roots. We get some pretty strange types here. They're fervent, green, bless 'em, but strange. Just the opposite. I care about the city. It's my sincere hope I live to see Falinesti return one day. I just don't have a problem with bathing myself or wearing comfortable clothing.
Circle around! Move!
Did it go well? Do you have the samples? Thank you, Traveler. The Falinesti will remember your stewardship. As a reward, I offer you the chance to see a ritual few outsiders have ever seen. Root, earth, water grow, spirit of the green sprout and show. And we wait.
Who disturbs me?
Excellent. Go ahead, my new friend. Speak to it.
Something is different. Something has changed. I am of the green, of the dark and growing depths. My lifeblood pulses through the roots. My skin smells of loam. For now, I sense a darkness, a growing corruption. If the grove tenders are kept away from their charge much longer, it may begin to fade. Down deep, beneath the soil, something locked away in stone and metal. A dark voice, whispering. They heard her whispers. Falinesti, it is gone, yes. I can sense its absence. Like a hole in my heart. It still walks somewhere. This land has greater worries.
As long as we have breath in our lungs, we'll keep the Autumn Site healthy and growing.
What am I to do?
Does no one care?
Fate mocks me.
Spread out!
I hope I helped. That was fun.
Ah, excellent. I sensed you coming. It's good to see you again. We can set to work right away. Why wouldn't I be down here? It's perfectly safe. Are you worried about the Arbordawn? They're harmless. A far greater concern are the Daedra. They're the real problem down here. Silly creatures. Down in the deeper tunnels. Don't worry, you're here. Actually, your arrival was quite timely. I just finished recording some critical observations on the site. I almost feel bad for injuring here. Yes, the leader of the Arbordawn Cult. He was very cross with me, shouting and carrying on. So I transformed him into a more manageable little fowl. It'll wear off after we've gone, but he's much more pleasant to be around now. Sorry, where was I? Of course, the temple. In my haste to excavate some of the older tunnels with earth-moving spells, I uncovered an ancient structure. This whole mess is somewhat... a bit my fault. But I'm not worried. What kind of teacher would I be if you didn't learn something? You'll accompany me down into the temple and we can put an end to... whatever this is. It's through the vine wall on the far side of the main cavern. I'll meet you there. There it is. Beautiful, isn't it? In its own way. Now that I have had a moment to examine the ward, it'll be a simple ritual to open the doors. However, it will take a few moments to complete, and I expect my efforts will not go unnoticed. Just so. I say, you are a learned assistant. Remind me to raise Enderwin's guild stipend after this is over. She's truly a mage of great intelligence. Are you ready to begin? Be wary, assistant. Here they come! Just a few moments more. Done! Let's get in there. If you'll allow me. Fascinating! Curse it! I can't use my hands! Assistant, you'll need to free me.
Bring the lightning! We did it!
To my web, mortals.
The Daedric Prince herself in these tunnels, I should have known!
Do be quiet, Artificer. Your companion is far more intriguing. Come, child. Speak with me.
Trust nothing she says, Assistant.
Such a lovely warmth against the temple's stones. So good to smell pumping blood in these halls again. I am as the Artificer named me, Mephala, web spinner, debaser, and consumer. Have you enjoyed sparring with my newest Death Weavers? Nothing like an empty mind, waiting, yearning for purpose. The lost city, the lost faithful, the great Artificer, all tremble in the web of Mephala. I have no answers for you, child. None that would satisfy you anyway. No, take your Artificer and go. The temple doors are open. You've done your part here today.
My. So the Arbordawn Cult has been spun into Mephala's web. Fascinating. Worrying, to be sure, but fascinating. It's clear entering the temple was a poor choice. My enthusiasm for discovery has caused problems like this before. I imagine Enderwin would be happy to provide you a list of past occurrences, but I digress. The temple must be resealed. Nothing. Just stand there, Assistant, and observe. Using a novel application for hermetic harmonic resonance, I shall completely seal the temple. Airtight this time, if you will. No allowing Mephala's influence to leak out. This should be the work of a moment. Just need to attune this spell matrix. Mephala, you face Telenger the Artificer. Learn what it means to snare one such as me in your web.
No! How dare you, mortal!
I am the Artificer, madam. That's why I dare. I believe Mephala's reaction was proof. The temple is sealed. Well done there, I suppose. Oh, indeed. I'm sure in time the Arbordawn will return to themselves. It's a shame we didn't discover where the Falinesti have gone. It may have to remain one of Tamriel's great mysteries. Thank you, Assistant. I'm already beginning to plan our next field mission. I'm thinking one of the Plains of Oblivion. It's been some time since I perused the stacks in Apocrypha, for example. Oh, they'll be quite all right. With the Daedric influence removed, they'll return to their old selves very soon. Actually, that's worth studying. I think I'll leave some students behind to observe their behavior. For all we've learned here, the Falinesti faithful may be a better resource to answer that question, or at least a more entertaining one. Some of their stories are quite fanciful, you know.
Perhaps he'll listen to me. For once, I swear I think it's a miracle of the Divines that any of his students last past the first year.
Welcome to the temple at Rawl'kha, Moon Hallowed. This one knows Hallowed. Former main Akuzri is here. Preparations have begun. Your path to the Two Moons dance begins here and now. The champions are here. They awaited your arrival with great enthusiasm. Are you ready to join them within? Excellent. The Queen, the Sylvanar, even the fallen light Akuzri is within. This one's superior, Kalzana Bijo, awaits you at the dais. Follow Hadamdo, Hallowed. Mistress Kalzana Bijo will set you on your path, Hallowed. Good luck.
My friend, it's good to see you again. I'm thrilled I could persuade Aselmo to trek out here. We need to support Akuzri and the Champions. This is a vulnerable moment for our fragile new dominion. Cautious might be a better word. Since the Dominion formed, there has been a great deal of political turmoil. The Old Guard in Overlooking, resistance to King Camoran's rule, and now the spiritual leader of the Khajiit corrupted by a dark spirit. I've known the Speaker and the Main for years and have every confidence in them. I've spoken to Shazar and Kali here in the temple, and I'm most impressed. The Somerset Isles will support elsewhere, come what may.
I know that scent. Green keep you, my friend. The Sylvanar and I are well pleased that we could be here to support the Khajiiti people. Oh no. My people are deeply divided. I believe this is one of the most vulnerable moments our fragile dominion has faced. King Camoran himself felt he had to remain in Valenwood, stay close to the people, keep them from worrying. I've spoken with the champions, taken in their scent. They seem lean, strong, flexible, much like my Sylvanar. I feel they do not have the experience, the age that the Main should have, but I'm willing to watch and wait and see.
My friend, isn't this amazing? It's my first time on the borderlands of Valenwood, and my first time in a Khajiiti temple. I'm honored to be here today.
Hallowed, strange to refer to you by that title after everything else you've done for the Dominion. But then, I suppose this was ordained in the moonlight, yes? News of Akuzri's fall has spread as fast as the wind. All of Elsewhere is talking about these two young women. As you probably know, this is the first time we've had two candidates for the main at the same time. There's a great deal of talk. I signed the Elden Accord. The people trust me. They trust my judgment. They know that I will serve ably as speaker to the next main. With my help, the people will grow to love her.
This one is humbled to stand before the moon, hallowed. You have done so much for Akuzri's people. More than he has done in some time, he thinks. You speak falsely. As this one said at Arentia, Akuzri is the main no more. The touch of darkness, the stain of Javadarn's creature remains. He can never atone for what he did. This one has known Shazza and Kali since they were cubs, since their days at the temple. They are strong, proud women. Our people will be in good hands, whoever walks the Two Moons path.
Everyone has gathered for the ceremony, and now with your arrival, we are ready to begin. The ceremony begins with consumption of the moon sugar elixir. This unique brew will make your mind more receptive to the touch of Joan and Jode. We have prepared the temple for this unique trial. Never in recorded history have there been two candidates for the position of main. You will walk with each champion, meeting their guides and exploring their past. Every main walks 3 paths. The life path is spent growing and loving and learning. The ceremony, here today, begins their trial path. After the cleansing at the temple, each candidate faces a trial unique to the course of their life path. To prove worthy, a candidate must walk the trial path to its conclusion. Here in the march, that is the temple at Dune. Here Shazza or Kali will walk the final path. The Two Moons path. We may speak more of that day later, Hallowed. Every candidate that undergoes this ritual is met by a figure from their past. The trial path is meant to cleanse the candidate of doubt and regret. The guide aids in that process. The moon sugar elixir is the gateway to the ritual. It allows you to open the doors of your mind, bask in the light of the moons. The touch of Joan and Jode will permeate your senses. Never. The champions were born under a unique alignment of the stars and moons. All candidates are. But never, in all our history, have twins been born at the exact right time together. Eventually, after all, a decision will have to be made. There cannot be two mains. Eventually, a decision will have to be made between Kali and Shazza. And as Moon Hallowed, you will be the one to make that decision. Excellent. Let us begin. We have gathered here to usher the champions on to their next path. The trial path. These 3 cups contain moon sugar elixir, a sacred potion. They will allow the light of the moons into your souls. Champions, step forth and drink the elixir. This 3rd cup is for the Moon Hallowed, who will walk with the champions on their path. Hallowed, step forward and drink the elixir.
You know that elixir was actually pretty tasty. They never mentioned that in any of the texts. Sure, of course. Are the walls supposed to wobble like that? Never mind. Are you ready?
Ugh, that elixir. I can't get the taste off my tongue. Do you feel more enlightened? I just feel a little sick. Yes, just a little nervous. Damned moon sugar roiling my stomach. It's this ceremony. Just irritating formality. Dull claws, let's get this over with. Ready? The sooner we're done with this, the better. Let's go. Colovians here? These bastards killed my mother. Let's take them out. Hallod, you are my strength today. I couldn't do this without you.
Pretty impressive.
Colovian bastards! Where are you? I know there are more of you. I can smell you. Come out and face me! What's going on here?
You draw your sword when you're frightened, Kali. Just like when you were a little girl.
Mother? Is that you?
Even as a cub, you were filled with such anger. After I died, that anger grew. Now, you laugh and curse in turn.
Mother, Nemu, we lost you so long ago. And you were gone so much. Why are you here?
I know, Kali. But you and Shazza had each other. A bond that transcends your rage. Now, face your past. Face my rage. Pray at the lunar shrines. Know what has come before. That you may face what lies ahead at Moonmund. Channel your passion, Kali. Protect your sister and our people. Become what you were born to be!
Wait! Don't go! Hallod, you are my strength today. I couldn't do this without you.
Captain, you have to pull back. There's too many of them.
Get my daughter out of here, Sergeant! I'll hold them off! Die, Colovian dogs! Is this all you've got, you bastards? Come at me!
Ha! They sent a house cat to fight their battles. Desperate failure.
Kali! Shazza! Bise!
My mother. I can't believe it. Why? Mother was a great warrior, a commander. She led a squad in the campaign to retake Orcrest and Riverhold from the damned Colovians. That was almost 20 years ago. Cities in elsewhere to the east of Dune. When Shazza and I were young, the Colovians annexed most of the northern part of the province. They thought our people were too weak from the Nahatan flu to fight back. A terrible disease. It took many people from the face of Tamriel. Actually, we lost our father. Mother was very well respected in our militia. She used to train the cubs from a young age in the use of claw and blade. Shazza used to sit and read after training, and we'd all take turns practicing tumbles and leaps. She was such a good teacher. Ha! Why are you even asking? I'm fine. I've known I'd be facing something dark in here since I was a cub. The monks made it very clear. Here, wherever we have to go next, the Two Moons path, this is not an easy journey. The monks taught us that once we complete this moon's blasted cleansing, we'll have to face some kind of challenge before we walk the final path. We should see hints as to where we must go before all of this is over. Kali is ready. Why, do you need more time to rest? If I know anything about these spirit journeys, we will most likely face that general as our final test. And I am eager to put my blade into his side. You killed my mother, you bastard!
You're weak. You're You bastards!
My blade has tasted the blood of my mother's killer. I should feel happy, righteous, but I don't feel anything. The monks taught us that this cleansing would open old wounds, and I expected to feel triumph, victory, like any day in the field. But here, he was just another threat to put down. I think I understand what my mother was telling me. Who I fight is not the question I should ask. The question I should ask is, why do I fight? I fight to protect those I care for, and perhaps someday, those I lead. Thank you, Hallod. I could not have done this without you.
Kali, she does not look so well. What happened in there? Of course, you're right. I always worry Kali gets worked up too easily. But then, that's what pushes her to do amazing things. Yes. We must be serious now, focused. I am ready. I've studied most of my life for what we begin today. Let's go. That hut, this place, are those supposed to be Nahatan flu victims? Hallowed, without your wisdom, I don't know if I could stand to be here. Thank you.
Don't underestimate us.
This must be where I'm to meet my guide.
Shazza, my daughter. It's good to see you again.
Father?
You've become so adept with magic, my daughter. Your wisdom has far exceeded my own.
Father, you are my guide. Why are you here? What am I to learn from this cleansing?
My Shazza, always so eager to learn. Cub, you and your sister have a connection that transcends knowledge. Now, you must face my past. Pray at the lunar shrines. Learn from Kali that you may face what lies ahead at Moonmont. Become what you were born to be.
Thank you for your wisdom, Father. Goodbye.
This disease. We've been here for weeks, and we still know nothing about it. If we can't understand how it spread, how can we treat it?
We've already lost Neen and Lanalor. If we don't leave Orcrest now, the whole team will succumb. The flu has ravaged the city, and the Colovians will be here in days. You have to get your daughter out of here.
Old friend, it's too late for me. Shazza is in your hands now. Get her home safely. I'll do what I can before the end. Shazza, please try to be brave. I'm sorry I won't be there for you and your sister, and I pray that the flu never reaches Dune. Look after our family, and remember always, your father loves you. Moons above, he loves you.
My father? I should have known it would be one of our parents. Just like Main Zabeden show, 400 years ago. Father was sent to treat the Nahatan flu outbreak in Orcrest 17 years ago. The disease proved too potent, and he and his team died. I was there, as a cub. A disease, a mysterious illness that swept across the face of Tamriel. It is said that it was a punishment from the Argonians, a retribution for the dark deeds done against the race by the Dark Elves. But no one knows for sure. No, not at all. The creatures in these visions, I don't know. I don't. Wait, actually, it makes perfect sense. These visions are a part of me, as much as memories. I was terrified of plague victims. So many bodies. Father was the most talented alchemist in all of Dune. When we were young, clients would come from as far away as High Rock to consult him. I think the Main himself asked Father to tend the sick. I'll be fine. Kali and I have known we would face darkness here since we were cubs. I just wonder. I want to know what he meant earlier. Let's go and find out. I'm ready. I should warn you, though. We'll probably see more of those flu victim monsters in the next room. I was so frightened of them as a child. Get ready, and thank you. My father's medical team? Dark moons. Those men and women worked with my father. Neen used to cook for us. She'd even stew vegetables when we asked nicely. No need for your sympathy, Hallowed. This is what my father meant. This is what he spoke of when he spoke of decisiveness. I need to move forward. No looking back. Yes, like Kali, I've spent so much of my life studying. So much spent examining texts, words. Action, though. Action is needed to be a true leader. Let's go, Hallowed.
You've done it, Hallowed. The champions have stepped onto their new path, and all that remains is to conclude the ritual. The final step, the cleansing itself. Please, step back, Moon Hallowed.
Your journey as champions is complete. The final cleansing begins. Relax your bodies. Calm your minds. Let the light of Joan and Jode wash away your doubts, your regrets. The cleansing is complete. Shazza and Kali have left the path of the Lunar Champions behind. The cleansing is complete. Moon Hallowed, step forward and speak to me.
Thank you, Hallowed. You filled your role admirably, as hundreds of Moon Hallowed have done before you. You have the thanks of all who praise the bright moons. May Joan and Jode guard your steps and keep you safe in the trials to come. You and the champions, excuse me, the candidates, you must make for your next challenge. The moons tell me that your next destination has been revealed to you. Yes, the moons tell me that the spirits of the past spoke of a temple, the holy temple of Moonmonth. Its walls once sang of moonlight, and now drip with the corruption of the Dark Mane. Hunt him down, Hallowed. Cleanse the temple, restore the cool light of Joan and Jode, and always stand beside the candidates. Shazza and Kali are counting on you. May the bright moons light your path, Hallowed. You should know there is an additional task you could undertake. It might improve your chances at Moonmonth. In times long past, the Moon Hallowed would often make use of a relic sacred to the Khajiit people. Today, it is just an old lump of metal, a bauble of bygone years. But it could come in useful in the trials ahead. It is called the Golden Claw. Its power and splendor was such that an entire clerical order surrounds it. They have pledged themselves to its safekeeping for many, many years. The Order of the Claw, just one of the many organizations within the lunar clergy. Kazana Bijo belongs to the Broken Paw. We are less martial than many of the clerical orders. We prefer studious contemplation to open-clawed combat. At a monastery known as Dogrin, it means warrior's grin in the tongue of my people. Dogrin lies to the southwest of Rawl'kha, west of the Iliad ruin called Tormar. It is as this one said, the use of the relic has fallen out of favor in modern times, but it is still a powerful object. And this is a most unusual trial for our candidates. This one thought you might appreciate every advantage.
To be with the Sylvanar on his wedding day must have been a real honor for you.
I look forward to speaking again at Dune, Hallowed. May the green keep you safe as you do the work of the bright moons.
We shall see you at Dune, then. I look forward to our next conversation.
With the champions prepared, the Dominion itself begins to heal. We're going to make our way to June. The Two Moons path awaits. I'll see you there, my friend.